Welcome to this explainer. We're taking some really complex, real-world stuff and breaking it down so you can actually use it today. We're diving into a super fascinating and honestly kind of counterintuitive parenting concept from the blog Cafea si Pompersi. We're talking about why hiding your financial mistakes from your kids is, well, it's actually a terrible idea. We're going to unpack why sharing your absolute biggest money blunders might just be the greatest financial gift you ever give your kids.
Okay, so let's get right into it. The absolute first reaction most of us have to this idea is, wait, why on earth would I willingly expose my flaws to my kids? Like, don't we risk scaring them or making them insecure if they know we messed up with money? It completely goes against our gut instinct to protect and provide, right? We want our kids to feel safe, and we usually think safety means looking totally, 100% competent. But as we're going to see, that exact instinct might actually be the very thing holding them back from learning how the real world actually operates.
The source material hits this right on the head by taking down what we can call the myth of parental perfection. Naturally, we try to protect our kids by just staying quiet. We think, hey, if I never mention the credit card debt or that really bad investment or my habit of impulsive spending, I'm keeping their world peaceful, right? But the author makes such a profound point here. A child's actual peace comes from understanding the real world, not from living in some manufactured bubble of perfection. When we hide our struggles, we aren't actually protecting them, we're literally depriving them of a roadmap for navigating real life.
So just admitting a simple failure, literally just looking at them and saying, hey, I made a mistake here, teaches kids 3 absolutely crucial life skills. And think about it, there are 40-year-old adults walking around today who still haven't mastered these. First off, they learn that people, even the ones they look up to the most, make mistakes. And guess what? The world doesn't end. Second, they learn that money is something you have to actively manage, not some taboo topic you sweep under the rug. And third, and maybe the biggest takeaway here, they learn that literally every single problem has a solution. But, only if you actually acknowledge the problem exists in the first place.
This whole idea is captured so beautifully by the author here. Trying to look like this flawless financial machine, it literally only creates anxiety. Why? Because kids eventually realize they aren't perfect themselves, and if they think you are, they're going to feel like they can never measure up. They'll just end up hiding their own mistakes from you. Reality, on the other hand, builds deep, deep trust. When you're just real about your financial missteps, you're basically telling your child, hey, I am a safe place for your future mistakes.
Moving on to Section 1, their shield for the future. Let's see how your past financial stumbles actually become their shield against future mistakes.
This comparison brilliantly illustrates the paradigm shift we're talking about. On the left side, you've got your classic textbook parent command, right? You must save your money. It's dry, it's a lecture, and let's be honest, it totally goes in one ear and out the other. But compare that to the right side, sharing a real story. Look, I didn't save for years, and look how hard it was after. Now that is relatable. Giving a moral command is just vastly inferior to sharing the real-life consequences of your own failure. If they hear how you took out a loan you didn't need or bought stuff just to feel better, they get to learn that exact lesson without ever paying that steep price tag themselves.
Like the author powerfully notes here, one is a moral, but the other is life. And kids learn incredibly well from concrete examples. They really don't learn from abstract theories and financial textbooks. They learn from the living, breathing examples standing right there in the kitchen with them.
Which brings us to Section 2. Money is a learned skill. Because it really is a skill, and for a lot of kids, it's completely detached from effort or strategy.
Kids often think money just pops out of a magical ATM or comes from pure luck or just having a fancy job title. They don't see the underlying mechanics. By reframing your financial weakness into a relatable lesson, you show them that managing money is an actual learnable skill. It's like playing the piano or riding a bike. Skills form over time through practice. And yeah, through failing. You show them it's entirely normal not to know everything right at the starting line. And by doing this, you instantly become their very first financial mentor, all without ever raising your voice, giving a stern lecture, or making them feel small. It's a real game changer.
Plus, when you admit you didn't always have it all figured out, you show them you're human. Vulnerability is a massive relationship superbuilder. It strips away that intimidating, all-knowing parent facade. When you're accessible, your child becomes vastly more open. You'll actually notice they suddenly become curious. They lean in. They're suddenly willing to ask how credit cards actually work or how to set up a budget, simply because they know they aren't going to be met with judgment.
Now let's look at the long game in Section 3, the foundation for difficult conversations. We're setting up the groundwork for when they become teenagers facing high-stakes financial temptations.
Just think about a 16 or 18-year-old in today's world for a second.
They are constantly bombarded with get-rich-quick schemes, crypto hype, and just massive pressure to buy all these lifestyle brands. If they run into a money dilemma, where are they going to go? Well, if you haven't established an open, honest dialogue about money, they sure are coming to you. They're going to go to their equally uninformed friends. Or worse, they're going to turn to some random influencer on TikTok for life-altering financial advice. No thanks. But if you establish this honesty early on by sharing your own past mistakes, they will bring their dilemmas directly to you, and that is an absolute triumph of parenting right there.
This brings us to the climax of our explainer. Section 4, an act of leadership. This is a profound reframing of how we view our parental slip-ups.
We need to completely shift our mindset here. We've got to stop viewing these honest conversations about our financial blunders as an act of shame. It's really not a confession of weakness. We have to start seeing them for what they truly are, an incredible act of leadership. Think about it. True leaders don't pretend they've never failed. They use their failures to guide their team, or in this case, their family. By claiming your mistakes, you are ensuring your kids will walk into adulthood with much surer steps than you did.
I'm going to leave you with this final beautiful thought straight from the source material. Your mistakes are not shadows to be hidden away in the dark corners of your family history. They are luminous lessons that can light the way for your children. So the next time you look back on a financial choice you regret, don't hide it. Instead, ask yourself this: what uncomfortable money mistake are you willing to confess at the dinner table tonight to make your child's future brighter? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this sparks some brave, honest conversations in your own home.